How is it going, everybody? I am Donut. This is a Black Lives Matter, All Cops Are Bastards, and Trans Rights supporting channel. And in, talking about Black Lives Matter, All Cops Are Bastards, and trans rights, Joe Biden, if you're living in America, just picked his VP, Kamala Harris. So, fucking don't vote for it. I mean, should have been obvious before now, but definitely now. I don't know how I should have to say this. Don't vote for a fucking rapist and a cop to be in office. Shouldn't be that hard. Listen to fucking BIPOC comrades that have been pleading us to not vote blue this entire fucking time. I'm using my channel as my platform. Do not fucking vote Biden if you're an American and you are eligible to vote. What the fuck is wrong with you? It is insane to me that it is even a thing that anybody on earth is even considering. So, I mean, it's very relevant to Agent Carter as well, so I'm glad that it's bringing it up here. It's literally exactly relevant to what is going on in Agent Carter right now with Calvin and the Senate and all that. This episode is the Edge of Mystery. So we're going to get some more on the, Zero Matter, on Isodyne, on maybe how the, iciness of it relates. I mean, we know how it relates in temperature-wise, but, like, how it works, I guess. Not really how it relates, but, yeah, how it works. So we're going to get close to the mystery, close to a conclusion, but just close, getting to that edge, the edge of the mystery. All right, let's jump into it. If you want to see the full length, check it out on Patreon below for $4 a month.
An orange glow would indicate the nitramine has reached peak volatility and should be handled with caution.
Going all the way back here.
With a blast radius
when she first found out about it.
Yards.
And is she even gonna ask him about it, or is this, she says she liked to lie, so.
Who was that on the telephone?
Miss Peggy Carter. Oh, I don't think she's like the others.
Yeah, it's true. I didn't think that's where her mind was going.
Oh, where's my head? Benny Goodman is starting.
I don't know if he actually respected her at this point. I mean, even now, I'm not sure if he respects her to a degree, I guess. That's true, but fully, Howard's still got a little bit of Howardness towards her.
I promise you, Miss Carter won't interfere with our lives in the least.
Don't make promises you can't keep.
Looks so insanely different. And with the kind of person Jarvis is, like, he's got to feel even more helpless than a normal person. So how long will he stay tangible? How long is this amount going to keep him?
You're awake. By my timing, you'll begin to lose mass in 2 minutes.
Oh, okay. Answering my exact question.
Now tell me, what happens when you vanish? Do you travel to someplace else, or tell me what you've learned?
You have me handcuffed and you actually expect to compare notes?
Yes. Physicist to physicist.
It is so interesting as well.
I'm hoping I disappear and don't come back.
No, I don't believe that.
Yeah, I don't believe that one bit.
For a moment. Not after you've worked so hard to stay in the realm of
existence. Yeah, no way.
And there is another option for you to consider. Aside from your demise. We work together.
Yeah.
Yes. Examining each other. We already...
No one else was helping you.
If I get close to you, you draw zero matter from me and become solid, which you can't control. I discovered that while you were unconscious.
Don't touch me.
But, okay, he can't control it while he's unconscious? What does that mean?
Just answer me this one question. Do you hear it?
Okay, the voice. That she's, like, talking to all the time.
As if it's coming from your own thoughts, but it's coming from someplace else. Do you hear it? Or am I truly going crazy? Seconds.
What's she gonna do? Okay, she's gonna give more.
Vernon Masters isn't above ordering an old-fashioned beatdown.
I'm surprised they're not just assassinating him. Or, well, I guess Sousa, I understand, but I'm surprised they haven't just assassinated Peggy. I guess because she's at Howard's place, so... It's a good thing she's at another more powerful person's house.
I have a message for your chef.
Sorry.
He looks so...
We're closed.
He looks so happy.
Oh, Nona, you're gonna love my gravy. I put a couple of cloves in there at the end.
Spice it up real nice.
No, così lo rovinerai.
No, I'm not.
Sì.
No, I'm just trying something
preferibile.
different.
Anziché usare i chiodi di garofano.
Oh, okay, what would you like? You want me to throw it in the trash? Is that what you want me to do? While I get that? Of course not. Of course not, because nothing makes you happy, right? You can't be happy.
I grew up with my best friend had an extremely Italian family, and this is very related.
Looks like we got 2 more for lunch.
Been the third wheel in this sort of situation plenty of times. Jack, what is he doing here? Like he's trying to get something on Peggy. Is Jack completely faking?
Whatever. Did they find that thing?
I've never had the break.
So okay, he's not like trying to act, trying to work around it like somebody Peggy knows.
Redacted file at the end of the rainbow.
Oh, okay. No civilians were spared. Okay. So when she took that job, yeah. Interesting.
Look at that. She likes you. She thinks you're the devil.
Malocchio. Mr. Manfredi, we know you have a relationship with Whitney Frost.
Yeah, everybody in town knows that. Everybody also knows that she dumped me for a crooked politician.
All we need you to do is get a message to her.
Why?
Ed è Santa Maria, un malocchio si ne possa ir.
All right, look what you're doing. Okay, that's it.
I mean, I
Stop.
guess just because he
Stop
had the
beating. You two
more
have to
power.
go. She's got a weak heart.
She seems rather robust to me.
Be a shame if Tommy found out you were the one who turned state's evidence against him. That's a lie. Tommy don't know that.
Oh boy.
No,
Jesus.
no. Basta. No.
She's hardcore. Manfredi, I love him so much. He's like the Howard Stark, which he's just so funny, even if he is a horrible person.
What
He's
message would you like
so
me to deliver to
charismatic.
Miss Frost?
What do you think of my research?
I think you're a mass murderer of rats.
You're a scientist. I agree that rats, and mice used way too much in, experiments and all that. Would we be as far in science if we weren't using the rats and mice as experiments? No. But, maybe we just come across science a lot slower then. That's fine. But, he's a scientist. I'm sure he's used plenty of, maybe he hasn't, but, assumingly Iceland's probably used plenty of rats and shit.
You think this is a gift?
Yes!
To be at the whim of a force that's trying to destroy me.
Only because you
Hey, it's almost like you're living in America.
accept it, then you control it.
I do love this. I mean, that is what I've been talking about this whole fucking time. I'm not going to rehash everything, but with Zero Matter just being power, essentially.
If you listen, it will guide you. What is it?
First things first.
He's so happy.
Thank you and your staff for everything that you've done for us.
Bad news.
When do you think we might be able to go home?
As you know, the surgery was very difficult. There was a great deal of internal
Oh, she's not like a bit of walking
We
or
almost
something?
lost her several times. I don't know if you and your wife had ever planned on having children,
Okay.
but that
I mean-
would be possible now.
It's sad, but it's not the end of the world. I mean, they can still adopt a baby, To be honest, this is such a, men writing women trope of acting like this is such a huge big deal. I mean, it's a big deal, but it's not like, it's not like she's not gonna walk again or anything like that. We did the same thing with Black Widow.
He gave me the laundry list of prescriptions I need to get for you. We're going to need shopping bags.
And they probably never planned on really having kids anyway. So she likes the lie. If they're not gonna have kids and he's just not gonna tell her that they can't have kids, then what's the harm? Yeah. Like, honestly.
Well, it certainly reads like uranium. How did you do it?
It's pretty simple. I just painted some U-238 with a radio
Okay.
fixture.
Smart.
Well,
Okay,
it's just
cool.
work.
Sad that I
You learned
doubted
my first
Faggy.
name. Yeah, it did.
Sorry, Faggy.
What's my middle name?
I mean, come on. I don't know the middle
We take
name
you
of
on
most
missions.
people.
We treat you with respect. Why are you always looking for things to be offended by?
Yeah.
What's anybody's middle name?
It's Herbert.
Still, nobody fucking knows
Sam,
anybody's middle
you'll
name.
be driving the truck.
This is exactly right. That is why he is that guy.
Please
He
get
always
stock
has to find something to get
containment
offended
into the
at.
truck. You can take it apart and put it back together.
I hate that you even asked me that question.
I will assume that's a yes.
He's the worst.
Right, let's get to it.
Howard Stark wants me to build a machine.
Okay.
You? Says that?
What?
No,
What?
but
Howard, how's he
someone
knowing
else
what's
here?
going on?
What does the machine do?
I'm not
So he sent it for
sure.
Wilkes, I guess.
A cannon. Something to do with gamma radiation.
Think you can build it? Sam Blee, I swear to God, you're on my last note.
I can do it, but it's complicated.
Yeah, I'm surprised for getting Samuel again. I was really not expecting that, but cool.
If you want to compare war crimes, yours are a lot worse.
Who put you
Mm-hmm.
up to
Seemingly,
this?
but
Is it Vernon Masters?
All you need to worry about is what's in that file.
And you never thought to question the convenience? Vernon asked you to discredit me. And
So
you
he
located
just faked
the
this all,
ideal
okay.
report. Whatever this is, it's a forgery.
yeah, that makes
No
sense.
fun for your slick talk.
But you're
I
falling
mean,
for his.
yeah. I can't believe I
You're
didn't
willing
think
to
about
believe
that.
any phlegm Vernon coughs up onto the paper because you're worried that I would betray your trust. I wouldn't.
All that, and it was just some forged fucking papers, Thompson. I can't believe Vernon sent him with the, like, oh. That's gotta hurt so much to know that Vernon just sent you on this goose chase for something he planted.
Hello, gorgeous.
Don't call me that.
Oh, yeah? Why is that?
I know what I look like.
Yeah. You're more beautiful
Gorgeous.
today than the day I met you.
You are a terrible liar, Joe.
Hey, I'm not lying. That mark on your face is nothing to be ashamed of. It's power.
Also, with Manfredi not being a
That's
part of
what
the
makes you
council,
so beautiful.
I'm so actually interested in, you know,
And she
what he
never
has
had
done
time.
for the city. Because he might not be that bad of a person.
rest
I
of
keep
the
saying
world.
he's a bad person, but I don't know if he is. Like, as a person, he's a piece of shit. But I mean, like, as far as his community actions, I don't know if he's bad. But in terms of, like, you know, how he treats his associates and everything, he's a piece of shit. But
Such a pity. Two accomplished women should be standing on opposite sides.
Yes, you're such a staunch defender of the sisterhood. I can tell by the way you shot an unarmed innocent woman.
yeah.
Occasionally sacrifices must
To be fair, though, an extremely rich woman. Oh, and they're gonna fall out and nothing.
No! Stop them!
So were you shooting at the ceiling? Well, they they lost that one real hard. Big L there on the Whitney side.
Where are the rods?
Put it down, Wilkes.
Jason, I don't understand it. You were outside of your containment chamber.
Miss Frost taught me a few things about my condition. Turns out she's as brilliant as we thought.
No, this isn't you talking. You've been affected by the zero matter.
Well,
Where
it's
are the
him
rods,
talking.
Peggy?
Oh, so you can give him the frost. Forget about
I'm not going backwards. Where?
Lower your gun and we will figure this out together.
No. Tell me where the
I won't. You'll have to kill me.
Okay. Sousa, tell me.
Jason, stop this.
Susie's gonna tell him.
Tell him, Daniel.
I'm
Listen.
Tell me,
completely
or
on
you will
Wilkes'
never
side.
see her breathing.
All safe at the SSR lab.
I'm sorry.
Nice. He like timed that perfectly. It's also so interesting that he can stand on ground. Or oh no, he's figured out how to control it completely. But I mean, still, before, you know, it's just, he's able to stand on ground, but just go with it.
What's happened and what's true are two different things.
Jesus.
This is an official document. That means it's true regardless of what happened.
Oh my god, I mean, like, that is exactly what they tell themselves too.
Looks like you're going to be getting that promotion.
Stop.
Right there. Now, you have no idea how sorry I am to hear.
Yeah. What does that mean, though? Vernon's in a bad situation here, too, though. He's got to figure out how he's going to get himself out of this to do something about it.
Jack? What are you doing here?
Oh?
I don't know.
I mean, he used the zzz on him, apparently. But how? I know they didn't show us the Vernon doing that to him, because there's no way that he would... How would he be able to go over there, get it, use it on Jack?
I've always loved fireworks. Well, just fire, really.
Those two together. They got no blast shield or anything, they're just... Okay. These two look fantastic together as as two villain pairs. Oh boy. Okay, so Jason's being taken by it.
What are you doing? What are you...
It's the same thing as like the void that he saw that she didn't.
Take me!
This is so weird. What the fuck? And still not picked. Still not, like, getting that respect that she wants. Oh, that fucking hurts, man. It feels so bad already.
Are you accounting for the easterly breeze?
3 degrees, right?
You can't just fire it straight. The pulse tends to travel on a parabolic arc.
Okay, I got it. Samberly, thank you.
I didn't know you...
Set. Load it.
Oh, that's exactly straight. What are you talking about? Oh, this is gonna miss. Oh, it's gonna fucking miss. They didn't listen to Samberly at all. How in the world? How the fuck they didn't listen to any of his advice? I guess Samberly was an even bigger idiot than we thought. If they actually listened to him, they would have missed. Okay, Jason is out.
Dr. Wilkes.
Oh.
Dr. Wilkes, can you hear me?
What?
Jason.
It's like all inside him.
Whitney Frost!
Something happened to him. He went inside.
Woo! Dude, Jarvis!
I stopped her.
Is the Zero Matter gonna like do anything with that? We know the punch didn't affect her as much. It looks like he's got worms inside him.
So is she.
Yeah, she's fine. She can absorb bullets.
You're gonna pay
She's
for
trying
that.
to She's trying to shoot his girlfriend.
He has what I want. And the key to controlling him is to control those that he loves.
What? But he's on your side now. Ah, bad plan, Whitney. Bad plan, Whitney. Alright, that's the end. See you guys for discussion. Goddamn, Whitney. What a stupid plan. He was already on your side. Really happy to see Jarvis cutting through the bullshit, not giving a damn, grabbing that gun, driving out there and shooting Whitney right in the damn chest. If she didn't have the Zero Matter, this would have been so excellent. I mean, I absolutely love Whitney, but I love more seeing characters take immediate action to the situations. So, yeah, I'm just so happy to see, you know, we've been talking about it the past couple episodes of, oh, we should just kill Dottie, or why don't we just kill Whitney at this point? What are we going to do after we catch Whitney? You know, blah, blah, blah. And so I like that we now had someone that was like, fuck it, I'm done, you know, trying to talk around, trying to convince these people that sometimes you gotta go for the kill. And you do. Sometimes you gotta go for the kill. I hope we're not gonna do something of like Jarvis being like, oh, I regret, you know, trying to kill her, you know, or something. I hope we don't do that, because I think he was in every right to do this, and I think he was the most morally right to do this. It is much more morally, you know, I don't want to say morally corrupt, but morally lacking, you know, to, you know, not kill Dottie, for example. To not have just used the necklace to kill Dottie, it is just morally shitty. Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. There's no way to go about it. We needed information out of her, but they knew exactly what the situation was. The situation called for killing her, and we didn't kill her. And that's just nothing else we can say about that. But, yeah. Seeing Jarvis actually take it seriously this time and write out his last will and testament. I'm not sure if he wrote it out this time. It was dated, but, you know, he could have wrote it earlier. Who knows? But this is the first time he's, like, been like, okay, if I die, you give this to her, because he's gone on plenty of these missions. He has said, I'm probably going to die many, many times. But he has never actually believed it, we are now finding out. All the times where he has said, oh, I might die, I'm worried about, my life, it's been a worry, but it hasn't been that serious. It's just been something he's kind of more been joking about than anything. Now, I don't know what specifically made this much more dangerous than anything else. I guess just going to the site of a bomb. But, being around Whitney, he's already done that. So it's not like it's much more, dangerous than most of the other stuff he's done. But still, I'm glad to see him taking it seriously. And choosing Rose, interesting choice. Felt like just to have Rose be in this episode, because I'm not sure why he would choose her. Like, sure, I guess because, it's one of the only other people he can trust. Like, there's nothing about Rose specifically that I think is like, oh yeah, she would be great at taking care of Anna. Like, she's just good at taking care of people, I guess, but it's not like we've learned that. There's nothing that I could have gone off of to guess this. It was more of just like, well, yeah, we need the only other person in the series that Jarvis is able to trust. So, yeah, glad to see Rose back, though. I always loved Rose. And, yeah, I think Jarvis made the right call in not telling Anna that, with her inability to have a child and everything. I think that was the right call. I said it in my reaction. I don't think I need to expand upon it that much. But yeah, I mean, if they didn't have plans to have a child, then it's not really harming anything by not telling her. And, yeah, she likes the lie. So, ain't nothing wrong with it. To be fair, I couldn't again, I've said I can't like the lie. I wouldn't be able to do that. I couldn't. Like, knowing that there's something going on, but being like, I would still rather not know fully what's going on. Or even, like, when she found out, she's like, I would rather just go back to not knowing. I could never. It would eat me up inside not knowing, more so than knowing. And yeah, also, side note, it's really nice seeing how progressive they are as a couple. It's always a joke, but it is really, nice seeing how progressive they are. Like, again, it is a very healthy relationship. Agent Carter is consistently very good with the relationships and the characters, and showing them be very healthy. Even, like, to the point of now Manfredi and Whitney, where it's like, Manfredi always really trying to boost her confidence and, help her self-esteem. And it's really interesting, because, like, we haven't really seen anything from Manfredi that would, insinuate that he is a villain, right? He may be a piece of shit as a person, but there's also plenty of other, I think Coulson is a piece of shit, and I, still watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., so just by nature of being the person being a bad person, I don't think that necessarily makes them a villain. Joseph is, like what he did with his own employee, maybe he had other problems with that, associate that he was trying to make a point of. Highly doubt it, but, there's not enough information to really go off of. And, so Joseph, again, I think he's, as a person, pretty bad, but as like the leader of the mob and everything like that, is he a villain? I don't know. He was the only one who was not a part of the council, and that certainly ain't because of, like, he is an old white dude, so, like, there's nothing about that that's stopping him. And, like, they even went after Howard. Howard, the only reason he didn't join was because of the women. Manfredi, it seems like the only reason he might not have joined was because either Calvin was involved and he didn't want to be in the same, council as the person who stole away his woman, or he, just doesn't agree with their shit in general and only started agreeing with it once Whitney was in charge and they weren't in charge anymore. And I think that is more likely. Again, I was very surprised to see Manfredi, going to talk to Vernon like 2 episodes ago or whatever that was. Because, yeah, I was really not expecting him to be a part of the council, and I mean, clearly he wasn't until now. But yeah, because he is the Italian mob. They are not really known for colluding with the government very much. They were way more the community-based ones, and I think that's why we could go for a Manfredi not being a villain at all in any way. We have, by the way, before we really go dive in, we had the Figueroa Street Slaughter. 6 criminals were gunned down in a card game because Manfredi was dumped for Calvin. But I don't understand what the hell is happening there. There's so many different possibilities, and it, like, on the surface, it seemed like they're acting like Manfredi is the one who shot up his own men because Calvin, he just got mad and shot them up, I guess, is what they're implying. But I don't know, like, on the surface, it really seems like that would be Calvin being the one doing the drive-by, because we see that his men are the ones that are playing the card game. So it seems like Calvin hired somebody to drive by them, but there's no way I believe that. Like, who the fuck would Calvin's people be? We know that, I mean, like, it would maybe just be a cop or something, but, like, I don't think so. You know, they're implying that it was Manfredi shooting up his own men, I think, but that whole thing there with the figure of streets are very unclear what the hell that was supposed to be about. Very unsure what that's about. Yeah, going back to Joseph, he could just be a good dude. Like you know, Capone, we talked about the millionaires and billionaires just, you know, we know that they can only make a certain amount of money, right? This is a common knowledge that you can only, even if they were buying the most expensive shit and everything like that, they cannot spend enough to be able to spend how much they are making every day. And the same can be said about criminals as well. Al Capone is the same way, you know, or any really criminals, but he was an extremely big one, so even more so. You can only launder so much money, and you can only spend so much money without it really being not like obvious. You know, they knew what the hell was going on, but without, you know, the proof. You can only launder it and spend it and get away with it with so much money. So all the excess money they would just give back to the community. They would just give to, you know, the poor and all that, because it also works double ways, right? You're helping out the community that you are a part of and you do care about, because also the community is a part of your own gang, so if the community is against you, then it's going to be harder to get people. And also then the people trust you more than they trust the police, so then they don't call the police when there is a problem. They just contact members of their community that they are aware are, you know, members of the mob that will handle it better. And, you know, then the mob will do criminal activity that they would be arrested for, but is honestly doing a better job at policing the community than the actual police were doing. So that might be, you know, where we're going with Joseph as well, where he's not a part of the council. He was just a part of this mob. He's given back to the community, which is maybe also why Whitney left him for Calvin, and why, you know, the council would not like him at first and be against him, because he's very antithetical to what they're trying to do. And yeah, again, Whitney leaving him because Whitney wants that power too. So seeing that he was giving back, maybe she left because she wanted someone who was more willing to manipulate people like Calvin. That might all be too much of a stretch, but there's enough, you know, history for it to, you know, for them to be pulling from that might be the case. Yeah, that's all pretty much I have to say about Joseph. I think. Oh no, actually, I love how happy he is all the time. Like, you know, he can be super aggressive in some scenes, but for the most part, even when he is like, you know, when he was about to go kill them because they shot Whitney, he is still less aggressive than you would imagine. I love how happy he is, you know, most of the time. Like, when it's not a serious situation, he's always smiling so much. Seeing that, like, you know, him wanting the kiss from Whitney and, like, doing, like, a giddy, like, he was so happy to get a kiss. I am enjoying him so much. So entertaining. So entertaining. So, back to Whitney. Okay, so first off, with Whitney and Jason, they're both hearing this voice. We're finally getting the confirmation of what the hell, like, this is exactly. It's this voice that they have been listening to, that has been, or that Whitney has been listening to, that has been guiding her upon what she should do. That's why she's always been like, it's been some science, been, you know, half science, half faith. She has this, she's taking all these notes, she's trying out all these experiments, she has these hypotheses and all this, but at the end of the day, she also has this voice that is telling her what she should do. It is very much, you know, you go by science and you go by your heart as well. You know, you should never be fully going by science. You should also be going by your conscience as well, a little bit. You know, if you were to fully go by science, you're going to turn into fucking Joseph Mengele. So I really like what they're doing with Whitney, where, yeah, they could very easily make her just a pure scientific, person, but they have this otherworldly conscience guiding her. And yeah, there's nothing for me to say that Zero Matter is necessarily evil in any way. Nothing we have seen from Zero Matter makes it out to be a force of destruction. They can control it. So, yeah, it is interesting what they're doing with the voice. I think that it is supposed to be a metaphor for the conscious, for your subconscious, for your heart. But it is clearly also otherworldly. Like, it is alien, but things can have multiple different facets to it. But yeah, I think that is what we're going for there. Now, I'm gonna say a big thing here. You're gonna want to sit down for this one. I think Whitney is probably my favorite MCU villain thus far. Yes, even beating out Cal Johnson from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Only because, to be fair, I do like Cal more as a character. But if I'm talking about villains, it's still already so hard for me to consider Cal a villain. Very, very, almost none of Cal's actions I would consider villainous. None at all. Even the two criminals that he kills, again, they were about to go kill some innocent person, and they were about to kill him. He was killing them in self-defense. So, Cal is hard for me to consider a villain, but I know by nature of the show that it would be considered a villain, and other people would consider him a villain, so I put him on the villains list. So, if I'm considering how much I like them as a villain, then yeah, Whitney is definitely beating out Cal, for sure. And, Loki as well. Those are my top three. Well, Kilgrave is also, and Cottonmouth. There's so many good villains in the MCU. Mostly for the TV shows, but yeah, and Whitney is definitely, she has done a lot more intentionally villainous deeds, even if, there is some excuse even to them, but for the most part, I would still say they're intentionally villainous acts, and I would consider Whitney to be a villain, even if, again, a lot of her actions I am totally behind and everything. But I mean, yeah, even the more intentionally villainous stuff she has done, like shooting Anna, she did it because she wanted this will distract Peggy so I can get away, just for the time being, slow her down. But, if I want to, I like Anna a lot as a character, but she's very rich, and I don't give a shit about the rich, so, as far as the universe's karmic balance, it's not like an innocent person who's being shot. It is a rich person being shot, let's be clear. But it's not like she was doing that because she was rich, so, it also cancels out in that sense and becomes villainous again. So, yeah. I don't know what that was just about, me clarifying, yeah, I do, would clarify her as villainous. Yeah, Jason in full control of the tangibility, fucking awesome. Reminds me of Mirio from MHA. I think it would be really cool to see him fight. I don't know if he will. He doesn't seem like a fighting character, but if he does fight, it's gonna look amazing. It's gonna look so cool because he also can, pick what parts of his body he wants to be tangible at what point. So, exactly like Mirio. So yeah, I'm very excited to see how he fights if he does. Whitney's plan here at the end. Jason was already ready to kill them, so why does she not care about killing them? Or why does she want to keep them alive to manipulate Jason? She was aware of that thing that, maybe Jason, Jason did tell her. She would have known with him getting away. So yeah, I don't know what the fuck her plan was there. Don't know what the plan was there. Really weird, really dumb. Jackety Jack. Being sent on a wild goose chase for something that, again, he's being sent on a wild goose chase for something that was planted by the Superior, just wanting Jack to... It's exactly what Peggy said to him. This whole situation was just made for Jack because Jack likes to feel like he's done something, get a medal, and be pat on the back. And that's really all this was. It was, Vernon could have very easily said, all right, here's Jack, we're going to lie, and we're going to say this, and blah, 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 blah. But he's like, Jack has got this tiny little moralness inside of him that I can't, do that. So I'm going to have to say, go try and get something on Peggy, and then I'll put this paper here for Peggy, and then you're going to go and get with your old uni friend to go. It's like he had to travel and do so much work for nothing. For nothing. And the room at the... Okay, so like when Jack confronts Vernon in the safe room and everything, what... Vernon's plan was, I'm going to shock him with this thing that somehow I know about now because there wasn't any like reports on them yet. They weren't like done. There was no manuals on how they worked. So how the hell did he even know about that in the first place? Unless Samberly told him. Why the fuck would Samberly tell him? I don't know, but maybe, that's possible. It's Samberly we're talking about. So, where was I saying? Yes, that he shocks him, makes him forget like 2 minutes, so clearly not that much, and then, then he just leaves Jack in the room and leaves. Like, maybe he was planning to do something about it later, like, I'm just gonna fire Jack later, he's not gonna remember, so I can just fire him for anything and it doesn't matter. But, you didn't think that Jack was going to be like, why is my memory missing? Jack was already looking into you. Do you not think he's going to do it again? Even if he didn't have the proof now, what if he, there's just so much wrong with that plan. Vernon is such an idiot. Yeah, speaking of Samberly, not expecting Samberly or Rose again to have like a scene, or maybe like a scene or two after 2X5. That's about as much as I was expecting. Just like one scene or two. But yeah, now Samberly getting another big role in an episode, getting to build this big-ass giant cannon that I can't get over him yelling at them so much about, like, make sure it's, to the right or to the east, and, you gotta account for the breeze, and you gotta account for all this. You can't just have it dead on. It's not gonna hit it. I've calculated this thing, and they're like, yeah. Put it dead on, shoot it, and it hits it. And it's like, oh, okay, so, yeah, Samberly had no idea what he was talking about. Samberly is such a fucking, like... The more this show goes on, the more it does seem like, yeah, we should not be trusting Samberly. We should not be, relying on him to build these machines and everything like that. That machine equally could have just blown up. And yeah, as Sousa put it, Samberly he's always trying to find something to get offended about. Like, that is what makes him the worst. He keeps whining and whining about not getting respect and being looked down on, all while he's in the exact same damn room as Peggy and Jason over here. Like, it really seemed like the scientists had it really rough in SSR, but no, it's really just Samberly being the absolute worst. All the other ones are kind of fine. Samberly is just, fuck him. He is the ultimate. But white people are being oppressed too. Why don't you remember my middle name? Oh, and, okay, let's end off talking about Peggy here. I like that, I was like, okay, this is an interesting twist when we got the file on her. I was like, really not expecting that. There's got to be some twist here, because there's no way that she would just, go along with that. We know Peggy. She is very, morally up and up. She is the stagnant one. She is the passive one. Even in the first Avenger, she is very, very passive. She could very clearly be like, I think, Steve Rogers here is the one who we should be picking. But, it was not a... She didn't say anything. She didn't, try and take action in any way. And again, all the way up through Ant-Man, we see the same thing. She is just as passive, not wanting to say anything, not wanting to be, the one who's, really ruffling feathers that much. And we see that in Agent Carter, she changes a lot of that. She tries to be different. But again, at the end of last season, she then, kind of went back in her passiveness, and she has that, like, she'll be very aggressive in some ways if it's in a very immediate threat, but if it's not a very, very immediate threat, she's a lot more passive towards everything, and a lot more passive towards thinking that change can happen at all. Yeah, Peggy is a fascinating character. Very surprised the FBI was trying to just discredit her. Because, I mean, I guess, to be fair, women dying is a lot more suspicious. It's always in the news way more than if, they would just, kill some dude. But at the same time, it's not like it hasn't happened, right? So it's, I'm very surprised that at this point, or that as much shit that she has done, against them, I am very surprised they're still trying to discredit her at this point instead of just straight up killing, just sending some. I'm surprised they're not just bombing Howard Stark's house. Why not? Like, I mean, again, it is a lot of the reason why they're not is because of Howard Stark, is because she is close to Howard Stark. She has powerful influence as well. But, still, though, Howard Stark is so against the government that I'm surprised that they haven't just tried to cut their losses, and, he's a dissenter, so I'm very surprised at this point they have not just decided to cut their losses and bomb Howard Stark's house when he and Jarvis and Peggy are all in it. It really would not be, they've done it plenty of times before. So, yeah, I mean, especially with, with Jason and Whitney being, two minorities that are some of the smartest people at the time, it seems like of their era right now. They both seem, honestly, like some of the smartest people alive, up there with Howard. And for sure, like, if Jason gets his tangibility and tries to get a fucking job after this, he's dead. There's no way on earth the U.S. government would let Jason, as smart as he is, have a job that is not cleaning floors or washing windows or whatever. They're going to bomb him. I mean, they've done it so many times before. And this is the 50s. This is prime U.S. bombing Black Richmond time, right? Like, this is, I don't know. Just that, yeah, it's crazy that I'm sure there's some people watching this, show being like, I can't believe, they would send people to go beat up Sousa. Like, that would never happen in real life, when it's like real life has had so much worse stuff happen than what the FBI has been doing in here. Like, the FBI are little tiny kitty cats in this, in Agent Carter. Vernon is such a nobody. He's such a barely doing anything. He's like the least threatening villain in this entire show. Even when it came to, like, the torture and everything. And, yeah, Sousa has gone from a character that I absolutely hated. I hated him in Season 1. I hated him as a character. I hated him as a person. I just did not like him. And then now, Season 2, he's probably number 3. I would say it's, Whitney, Peggy, and then Sousa. Yeah, he is so fantastic. Again, like Peggy, what makes him so fantastic is he's not just like a perfect person. He has a lot of flaws. He is a really good person at heart, but he is still kind of sexist, and he is, he can make a lot of bad decisions. But that is why I love him. He is flawed, but he is always trying to do the right thing and trying to change himself further. And Sousa is perfect. Love him. Very curious to see, where he's going to end up at the end of the series. We know where Peggy ends up. I don't really give a shit where Jack ends up. Dooley's dead. So I'm very interested to see where Sousa is going to end up. Because, Sousa could still be alive, in the MCU. I doubt it. I doubt we'll ever see him, but Peggy's alive, and we saw her. It depends on how much people actually like Sousa, if they're willing to, like, maybe put him in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. or something, as like a, hey, let's go visit old Grandpa Sousa for some reason. Because he wouldn't be in S.H.I.E.L.D. I mean, we know he's not in S.H.I.E.L.D., else they would have said something. So, he had to have gotten some other job. I don't know what it would be. Don't know. Because I don't know if he would go into law enforcement or anything again after this. I don't think so. He might be like a private eye or something, maybe. I don't know. Very excited to see what it is. I hope we find out. Better get an epilogue or something. I'll see you guys. Well, they're probably not getting an epilogue because they're probably going to be wanting a season 3 or something. But I hope we get some idea of, like, him saying, like, I'm going to try and do this, I'll see. Or maybe he'll get his job back by the end of the season. Probably is actually where we're going to go. Because Peggy's going to probably still have her job at the SSR at the end of the season, so. Yeah. That's it for this one. I'll see you guys for the next one. Until then, get the fuck out of here.